this pitcher plant back in April. The shipping should have only taken 2 to 3 days. They were sending it priority, but because there was slow shipping back in April, and I guess there was a holdup at the post office, they kept my plant at the post office for 3 days on top of the already 2 or 3 day shipping time that I was supposed to have. So when it came, the plant was basically tiny and dead. The pitchers were dead. Well, 3 pitchers were dead, I believe. One of them were trying to hold on, but it was basically dead too. I contacted the seller, asked him what I should do. He said to cut off the dead pitchers and to repot it and keep it watered, make sure the soil stays moist. So that's what I did. I held on to that last pitcher that didn't seem like it was all the way dead. I tried to hold on to it for as long as possible, but after a while, the pitcher just dried up and died as well. Well, I'm stubborn and I just refused to let this plant die, even though I assumed it was really already dead. And I just kept watering the plant anyway. And it just stayed over here in this little tiny pot. And I just kept watering it, making sure that the soil stayed wet, making sure there was some extra water down here at the bottom. And that was, like I said, that was back in April. Now this is the end of August, and finally there's a little spot of green at the bottom. So finally the plant is, well, I guess the plant wasn't dead, but none of the leaves, none of the pitchers were able to do anything. So now we finally have some new growth coming. So I'm so glad that I kept watering the plant. I'm so glad I didn't give up on it and just throw it away when I thought it was dead. I didn't just throw it away when that last pitcher died. And I honestly, I was planning on it, but I paid for this plant. I ordered it thinking I was going to get a bigger pitcher plant, but really I just got this little tiny plant. It wasn't in any soil. It was just open roots wrapped up in a paper towel. So I was determined that this plant was going to live some type of way. Didn't know how. And I wasn't sure if maybe new pitchers could grow off, where I cut off the dead pitchers. I had no clue. This is my first pitcher plant. I had never had carnivorous plants before. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I kept watering it anyway. And a couple days ago, we started seeing this little green growth down here. So I know it's not much, but it gives me hope that I will have a pitcher plant. I do have another pitcher plant. It's small. It's still a small plant. Some of the older pitchers are dying off. New pitchers are sprouting up. And then we have these bigger pitchers they're doing pretty good. And we also had a Venus flytrap. The flytrap honestly didn't catch much by way of bugs, but there are a lot of like gnats and a couple little spiders in this pitcher plant. So it's actually catching things. This little one here is a hanging pitcher plant. This one is not. So that was why I wanted both. So I was really determined for this pitcher plant to do better than it had. Well, to do better than how it arrived. So hopefully this new growth does well. I'm going to keep watering it. Pitcher plants, they need either distilled water or rain. I use rainwater as well. You can't use tap water or spring water, no type of mineral water or anything like that. So I make sure I collect rainwater. I also purchase distilled water for when I don't have rainwater. These plants also, I don't use those mosquito bits on these plants. I figured even if these plants get gnats in it, they're carnivorous plants, so that will be food for them. If they do, I haven't had a problem with these. So I'm guessing that because there's no real nutrients in the soil, that maybe gnats don't like their soil. So I haven't had a problem with any gnats in these plants. Like I said, this one is catching quite a few gnats and spiders and all types of things. So just wanted to show you my new growth in my pitcher plant. I never thought I'd be this excited about a little bit of green, but I am. Alright guys, thanks for watching.